We're joined now by local attorney Michael Timberlake to learn more about what went into the jury's decision.
And Michael, jury members had 5 counts to weigh, and clearly they took their time. Let's talk about some of that evidence presented during trial. We saw a lot of it, we heard a lot of testimony, but the jury had more to consider and weigh during those deliberations.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get a high-profile trial like this, then one of the things that we always remind people is that the evidence is presented in the courtroom, and it comes to a jury in the courtroom, and they're able to view the witnesses. They're able to look at their demeanor. They're able to carefully examine all the evidence in the case and not just what they hear on TV or they may see. So they're in a unique position to make a decision based upon the evidence that is presented at trial and without outside influence.
And that brings us to the next question. Commentators on cable news, social media, celebrities, even the president, none of whom had all the facts that were presented in court, were quick to vilify Rittenhouse a year ago. What are his options now to clear his name going forward?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any way that he's ever going to be able to clear his name. I mean, he obviously did what he did. He killed 2 people, and he wounded somebody else. He may have been justified in terms of criminal conduct, and he may have been acquitted by a jury in terms of criminal conduct, but that doesn't mean he didn't do these things. So the public or people are going to have to judge him in their own way. As far as for the acts that he committed. So I don't know, I don't think it's fair necessarily to convict him of a criminal act in the public or through the press, but clearly he killed 2 people and injured somebody else. That's going to have to be up to everybody else to decide what they think of that conduct, and he's going to have to live with that conduct.
And obviously, from the criminal aspect of things, he cannot be tried again, right? It's done and over with from the criminal side, but it may not be the end of legal proceedings for Rittenhouse. What does this mean for civil cases moving forward? Yeah,
I mean, there's a big difference between civil cases and criminal cases. In a criminal case, the prosecution has a high burden of proof. They have to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. They have to have a unanimous verdict where they convince 12 people that the person is guilty of all the charges. And that can be a high burden in these situations, especially when you're looking at a defense and the evidence that they were able to present that showed he may have feared for his own life. You don't have that kind of situation in a civil case. In a civil case, you only have to prove your case by a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not. You don't get to defend your case by saying, look, I thought that they were going to hurt me. You've got to justify your case. So, more than likely the civil cases will be pursued. More than likely he'll be convicted civilly. Whether he has any monetary option to pay any judgments that are entered is a different thing, but it's markedly different in terms of the burden of proof and the evidence that's presented.
All right, Michael Timberlake with Senior Timberlake and League, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.